side to that. Nice, last one, folks. Glass bottle plate, or what's that?
Etiquette number 5. Etiquette 5, please.
So there's Green Island. Seems to be it's definitely a lot more developed from when I was here back in 1994, 1973 prior to that, which I've probably already said a few times. Probably don't need to be said again. But I remember, there's a lot more of those floorboards here. Remember there used to be an old crocodile in the middle of the island. A few more shops. Nice. Beautiful spot. Nice to be back. Dive centre. Let's found the shop. There's swimming pool. I don't know why you'd go to a swimming pool if there's a nice big ocean there. Yeah, it's really developed. The eatery, the restaurant. The bar. All the different crocs that are here. You don't need the snorkels there. Sea urchin. Oh, it's beautiful. Emperor angelfish. Hey? Oh, cool. There's a clown anemone fish. Otherwise known as Nemo's. Beautiful. Anemone. He's enjoying that relationship, isn't he? Another Nemo. Nemo! There's a Dora from the movie. We're trapped. We need to get out. The Dora in the Finding Nemo. The blue one is it Dora?
Yeah.
Three horses. They're very cute. Brown fish. Lots of them. Maybe we should get a fish tank, huh? What do you reckon? There's another blue tangs. We had a blue tank, didn't we? Yeah, fish tank. Starfish up the top there. Beautiful. Beautiful, isn't it? Nice specimen too. What's his name?
Grandma.
Grandma. Like our painting.
Aggressive, 2 stars.
What's the highest?
I don't know. 4?
So this is Oscar, who arrived in Green Island in 1972 from Daru Island. Died in 94, aged 20, after 27 years in captivity, aged probably 75. So this is no doubt the crocodile that was here when I visited in 73. There you go. He's still here, just pinned to a wall. No, not even stuffed. Maybe, yeah, maybe his head is. Yeah, wouldn't have been able to get this close to him back in 73.
Come on,
Okay, everyone. So, what I'm going to be feeding out to the crocodiles here today. We've just got some chicken wings and some slightly larger pieces of chicken frames.
Chicken wings.
Now, obviously, that doesn't look like much food for a big crocodile. Granted. But believe it or not, guys, even for the biggest crocs here at the park, and that is Cassius included, a piece of food, roughly even that size alone, would actually be more than enough for them to happily survive on for up to a week. The crocodiles have one of the slowest metabolisms of any animal on Earth, so it takes them a huge amount of time to digest their food. Out in the wild, however, a full-size croc is going to be capable of eating about 200 kilos of food in a single sitting. But if they did eat that much, they wouldn't have to eat again for up to 2 years. And they can go 12 months on a completely empty stomach if they have to. Yeah, guys, throughout the show here today, I'm going to be doing my very best to get these crocs moving around as much as possible. Ideally, getting a couple of nice big jumps on some of them. Now, as much fun as this is for me to do, and as awesome as it is for you guys to watch, because these are captive animals, the feeding show is generally the only exercise that crocs will tend to get for the day. So if I don't get them moving around throughout the show, the rest of their day is simply going to be spent raging around in the sun, doing as little as possible. Now they do this because crocodiles are reptiles. They're cold-blooded. That means that they get around 90% of their total body energy directly from the sun. Now, only about 10% of the crocodile's energy level comes from the food that they eat. And that is the opposite of us humans. The jumping you're going to see here today, guys, is a natural behaviour. We do not teach the crocs here at the park to jump. They'll jump both here in captivity and also out in the wild to try and catch any birds or bats as they fly over. Now what you're going to be seeing here, especially with the male, I'm just giving her a bit of food to get her out of the way. So what you'll be seeing with this male when he gets up and jumping, guys, is he's just going to use his back legs to lift that main body weight off the ground. And then it's just big kicks with that tail to get the ultimate lift and get him up and out of the water. Now, so you'll be able to see with the female down here below me, outside of the water, their tails run about half the length of their body. And especially on the big males, that tail becomes extremely heavy, so it just becomes a bit of a dead weight. Inside the water is a very different story. Because Bronto here's size, he's biting down at around 4,000 pounds per square inch of jaw pressure. Now, the next closest rival to that bite force in the wild is a great white shark at about 3,000 pounds per square inch. Now, us humans, put it into perspective, Now we bite down at a whopping 160 pounds per square inch. Absolutely no comparison. You're going to be very difficult today, aren't you? So as you can see, guys, he does not want to jump. He doesn't want to put any effort in for this piece of food. He would much rather I just put it straight into his mouth, having him done nothing for it. Now, as much as it seems like I tease them with this piece of food, it is very necessary. Wow. Just to ensure that they do get that exercise and stimulate their digestion. Now he knows what it is, we should be right. Now he knows he's not just jumping for a chicken wing. Should be a bit better. Hold on. So the first one will be pretty slack, and then we should be able to get some nice ones out of him. What I might do is just give him this bit, and hopefully that will warm him up. Good luck with that. Although in that situation I am sure you're going to give anything a go. Although in my experience there's only one surefire way to successfully escape a crocodile attack, and it is in fact extremely simple, guys. Do not get in one. Alright, it's pretty straightforward stuff.
Yeah.
Better smarten up, mate. So these are very, very lackluster attempts at jumps here, guys. Believe it or not, Bronto here, even though he is the second biggest croc here at the park, he has actually got the biggest jump out of any of the crocs here. Now, so during the summer months, when he decides he really wants to put on a good show, which is about the opposite of what you're seeing now, I've had him jumping up and grabbing bits of food from there. Now, considering this water is only waist deep, that gives you a fair indicator of just how much power they've had in their tail. If I don't get a jump out of him here, guys, we are going to go and see someone else, and I'm not going to give this to him, I'm going to give it to his girlfriend. He'll learn a very valuable lesson here. And that is a crocodile burp. Alright guys, so we are going to move on just to... Now, so as I said, guys, we tend to keep them partnered up or else they're going to go looking. So in the case of this crocodile here, Whitey, prior to the female down there being introduced into this enclosure to him, one day he took it upon himself to climb out over that fence to get to Bella, the female croc at the front. Buller wasn't too happy about that, so a big fight ensued. Unfortunately for Whitey, he came off second best, and he had the front of his bottom jaw completely bitten off during that fight. So you can see his bottom jaw is quite a bit shorter than the top one. Now that part of his jaw is actually on display in one of the glass cabinets inside. If you're interested in seeing that, it's a pretty cool thing to see. And a good thing to note, guys, is that this type of injury is extremely common, both here in captivity and also in the wild. As you can imagine, they fight a lot. Now, their wounds heal up nicely with very little risk of infection. And extremely handy you would too, wouldn't you? Extremely handy adaptation to have when you live in water like this. Keep going then. If anyone would like to get extremely up close and personal to a big crocodile, I suggest coming down this end of the enclosure. As we like to refer to him here at Marineland. Now he is, quite obviously, the biggest croc we've got here at the park. But not only that, as I mentioned at the start of the show, he is the current Guinness World Record holder. for the world's largest captive croc. So in 2012, the Guinness World Record Company came to Green Island and certified him at 5.48 metres long, so just under 18 feet. If you're having a bit of difficulty working out what 18 foot would look like stretched straight out, this crocodile, Cassius, is the same length as this bamboo pole. Just let that sink in. Now guys, he's been here at Marineland since 1987. He was captured in 1984 up near Darwin on the Finnis River, where he was a problematic crocodile, attacking people's boats and also eating farmers' cattle. So in 1984, the Northern Territory government decided enough was enough and had him pegged for removal after he bit the outboard engine clean off the back of someone's boat. So all around the end of his nose and mouth area, he's got lots of injuries. There's a couple of big slices, lots of white scarring, and he's missing a good sized chunk off both his top and his bottom jaw. They are injuries directly resulting from attacking boat propellers. Down the centre of his back, more white markings, more scarring. Would be the result of being run over by a boat. So he has a very long history with boats, and it's not a very nice one. I'll get to that shortly. Now guys, just before I get him too fired up here, I'd just like to see if I can show off his palatal valve to everyone. So I'll get him to open up his mouth here, hopefully, once he's finished ghost swallowing. He should open up his mouth and just hold it open for us, long enough for everyone just to get a quick look down the back and see that palatal valve. So you'll see there is a flap at the back of his mouth, stopping you from being able to see right down into his stomach. So once again, that's what you've got to aim for. You just got to reach in, pull that forward, water rushes in and he lets go. Easy. Now guys, Cassius is missing around 6 inches off his tail, as well as his front left leg almost entirely. Both of those injuries were sustained prior to being captured and are either the result of a fight with another croc or potentially even a run-in with a bull shark. Now out in the wild, the male saltwater crocodile has a life expectancy of about 80 to 90 years old. Females around 50 to 60. At which point they tend to stop regrowing their teeth due to stress. So crocodiles will regrow their teeth throughout their lifetime and are capable of going through over 3,000 teeth. Once they stop that regrowth process, obviously they can no longer effectively hunt or defend themselves. So generally end up falling victim to a younger, more aggressive croc or die through starvation. And Cassius, in his case, not only has he still got all of his teeth, he is still currently growing new teeth to this day. At an age well over 100 years old, probably closer to 150. That is true testament to just how happy and healthy he is here at the park. Now there have been previous cases of crocs exceeding 150 years old in captivity, but none of those crocs are in anywhere near as good physical condition as he is. So it's anyone's guess how old he will eventually end up living to. He could, by all rights, die tomorrow. There is no reason why he could not live for another 150 years. We just do not know.
Yeah, so apparently he's never done this before, and the keeper's trying to work out what the hell to do.
I hope the rope's not stuck in his teeth.
Oh, he just says just open his mouth and it'll release.
Unless his tooth is stuck around it.
It doesn't look like it. But we're saying he just needs to open his mouth and it'll release. Funny that. Never done it before, apparently. This is like a patrol area of the beach. You can hire those lounge chairs for $40 a two. And a nice swimming spot. Not much coral here though, a lot of grass, nice fish, and little bits of coral here and there, but not a lot here. If you have a coral one, I suggest you go near the wharf. Bye.